How many of those fingers do you think we could shove up his ass?
Shove, shove.
Do you think we could shove up his ass?
It did nothing to dull my senses. With a hooked blade he sliced me, root.
Hook, hook.
With a hooked blade he sliced me, root. I dream of the voice from the flames. Was it a god, a demon, a conjurer's trick?
Trick, trick.
Conjurer's trick? I have hated magic and all those who practice it. But you can see why I was eager to aid in your...
Eager, eager.
You can see why I was eager to aid in your...
Which will require a degree of influence, which
You do not possess at the moment.
Possess, possess.
You do not possess at the moment. Once I had served the sorcerer's purpose. He threw me out of his house to die. I resolved to live, to spite him.
Spite, spite.
I resolved to live, to spite him. And soon learned that the contents of a man's letters are more valuable than the contents of his purse.
Purse, purse.
Are more valuable than the contents of his purse. And yet they said that he was...
Extraordinary. The most extraordinary man they've ever had.
Extraordinary, extraordinary.
Most extraordinary man they've ever had. He's leaving for the Eyrie soon. I'm helping him prepare for his journey.
Ah, yes, to pursue his enduring love of the...
Endure, endure.
Ah, yes, to pursue his enduring love of the... What makes you say so?
His shipboard inventory.
Inventory, inventory.
His shipboard inventory.
You can read. Rare for a woman in your profession.
Former profession.
Of course.
Profession, profession.
Former profession.
Of course. I'm missing something obvious you're about to point out?
2 feather beds. He's bringing 2 feather beds for the cabin.
Cabin, cabin.
He's bringing 2 feather beds for the cabin.
Which seats 700 comfortably.
There appears to be a good deal of room elsewhere on the...
Elsewhere, elsewhere.
There appears to be a good deal of room elsewhere on the... No. The rest are there to look adoringly upon the 700 to remind them how superior they must be to have the best seats over the...
Superior, superior.
Superior they must be to have the best seats over the...
He had no business fighting an actual warrior. We mothers do what we can to keep our sons from the grave.
Grave, grave.
We mothers do what we can to keep our sons from the grave. We mothers do what we can to keep our sons from the grave. But they do seem to yearn for it. We shower them with good sense.
Shower, shower.
Shower them with good sense.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I know they did terrible things at the end, but their ancestors built this.
Ancestor, ancestor.
Their ancestors built this.
Bless, bless.
the iron price for Interfab.
Iron, iron.
The iron price for Interfab.
Years and years of lectures on family and legacy. The same lecture, really, just with...
Lecture, lecture,
Same lecture, really. Just might be the only one listening to them, living by them. That she might have the most to contribute to your legacy.
legacy, legacy,
That she might have the most to contribute to your legacy. She knows how to manipulate him.
Good. I wish you knew how to manipulate him.
manipulate, manipulate,
I wish you knew how to manipulate him.
My lady, I wanted to personally welcome you to King's Landing. This is...
personally, personally,
I wanted to personally welcome you to King's Landing. This is...
Tom, I've heard you're such a clever man. I'm curious why you sought me out.
curious, curious,
I'm curious why you sought me out. I know the walls have ears, but apparently the shrubbery does too.
I choose my allies carefully.
ally, ally,
I choose my allies carefully. When he goes, Sansa Stark goes with him.
Why have you come to me with this matter?
Littlefinger was born with no lands, no wealth, no armies. He is a...
wealth, wealth,
Littlefinger was born with no lands, no wealth, no armies. He is a...
I didn't mean to disturb you.
You haven't.
We'd like some privacy, please, if you wouldn't mind.
privacy, privacy,
We'd like some privacy, please, if you wouldn't mind. And you?
I'm sorry, I just can't.
My cousin Alana was the most...
cousin, cousin,
My cousin Alana was the most... Alana looked like a goddess sent to torture me. Pigface, she calls me.
Pig face, that's ridiculous.
I think I had...
ridiculous, ridiculous,
Pig face, that's ridiculous.
Eventually your face slides off and you die in agony.
But that's awful.
awful, awful,
That's awful.
We have a great masquerade the night of the harvest moon. You should see the costumes. People...
costume, costume,
You should see the costumes. People...
And more daughters than I can count.
I'm glad for you.
Are you now?
glad, glad,
I'm glad for you.
Are you now?
Can I take this hood off, yeah?
I do apologize, little lady, but it's...
apologize, apologize,
I do apologize, little lady, but it's...
You look like a bunch of swineherds.
bunch, bunch,
You look like a bunch of swineherds.
As have we all. As would any man who's seen the things we've seen.
If you mean to murder me, then bloody well get on with it.
You'll die.
bloody, bloody,
You mean to murder me, then bloody well get on with it.
You'll die. But it won't be murder. Only justice.
And a kinder fate than you deserve.
fate, fate,
A kinder fate than you deserve. Life cut in two while their mothers watch.
I wasn't at the Mummer's Ford. Dump your dead children at some other door.
dump, dump,
Dump your dead children at some other door.
Murder is a crime.
I never touched the Targaryen babes. I never saw them. Never smelled them. Never
smell, smell,
saw them. Never smelled them. Never.
Only the Lord of Light may do that now. I sentence you to trial by combat.
combat, combat,
I sentence you to trial by combat.
It is done. You hold the whip.
whip, whip,
You hold the whip.
It's